Hi and welcome to This Week in Romance for March 29th. This is the hottest romance news of the week in under 5 minutes. I'm Elizabeth. The top story in Romancelandia this week has been continued discussion of the Romance Writers of America Rita Awards, namely the continued whiteness of that award. This week saw more white fragility in the face of reasonable questions about systemic racism in the award selection process. White finalists and awardees wanted more moments to celebrate after 3 full days, when Black authors had been waiting 37 years for a single Rita win. The RWA board made a statement about potential changes to the award going forward, but nothing concrete has been decided yet, except that Sherry Adair, the erstwhile Lifetime Achievement Award recipient for this year, who had been vocal in recent days, withdrew her name, citing the hurt she'd caused with comments about the controversy on social media. If you haven't been following the story, it's more than I can detail in 5 minutes, so check out the excellent post Jessica Pride wrote about it on Book Riot, or the Rita's So White hashtag on Twitter. I'll link both below. In other news, Karen Booth, who wrote the terrific rock star romance Bring Me Back, had a post on Frolic about 40-plus-year-old characters in romance like the one in her book. It's a great post filled with lots of recommendations about books with older characters, and I highly recommend you check it out. I'll link the article below. Finally, UK romance fan Roz Clark is going to do a cool thing in Scotland in a few weeks. There's an Airbnb in the Scottish town of Wigton called The Open Book that lets holiday goers run a bookshop for a week. So that's cool, but what's the romance connection? Well, the shop doesn't appear to have a romance section, so Roz is asking her romance friends to send her a curated selection of the best romances to stock the shop. Do you have a favorite paperback you'd like to send her? Check out her Twitter thread for more details. I'll link it in the description box as always. Now for this week's cover reveals. First up is Well Suited by Staci Hart. This is book 4 in the Lipstick Coalition series. It's an accidental baby book, which normally isn't my thing, but the voice of the narrator in the back cover copy kind of grabbed me. Plus, I actually think the cover is really cute. I wasn't sure about this new trend in illustrated covers, but they're kind of growing on me. What do you think about them? Let me know in the comments. Well Suited comes out May 2nd. Kelly Haworth revealed the cover for her book Got a Catcher this week. It's an FF romance about 2 women who meet through phone games. Plus there's a cute doggy and coffee. Since that's pretty much everything I like, I'll be picking this one up on April 29th when it comes out from 9 Star Press. Finally, Talia Hibbert has been killing it with the covers lately. Last week I shared the cover reveal for her upcoming fall release Get a Life, Chloe Brown. But this week she showed us new covers for her already completed Ravenswood series. I've read all of these books except the novella, and they're wonderful, so if you haven't, now would be a great time to snap them up. They're already all available for varying prices in ebook. I'll link them below. Now for some new releases. First, any week with a new Courtney Milan book is a really good week. Mrs. Martin's Incomparable Adventure is an FF romance with older characters, 69 and 73 respectively, taking on Mrs. Martin's terrible nephew and having some fun in the process. It's available now in ebook for $2.99. Sherelle Green also has a new book this week, Single AF. It's book 1 in the Social Experiment series. It's a workplace romance featuring co-workers rather than the problematic boss-employee dynamic that seems so common. Added to the cute as heck cover and the heroine, who is described on the back cover as extra, this one might be a winner. It's available in KU or for $2.99 in ebook. Finally, Wicked Sin by Ainsley Booth came out this week. It's book 4 in the Forbidden Bodyguard series, but as long as you don't mind bumping into some characters from previous books, it should stand alone just fine. Apparently this is about a detective and a complicated former bad girl heroine. Any combination of complicated bad girl and heroine is bound to be good, right? Wicked Sin is $4.99 in ebook. Finally, our pet of the week. We've got our first non-pupper this week. This is Rebecca Grace Allen's beautiful kitty Felicity. Apparently Felicity has a bit of a foot fetish, appropriate for an author of kinky romance, snuggling up to Allen's feet at every opportunity. Speaking of Allen's kinky books, her dominant widowed professor book, His Contract, is going to be free via BookBub in a couple of weeks, so if you haven't read that yet, keep an eye out. That's it for This Week in Romance. If you missed any recent episodes, check out the playlist I have linked. It's full of romance news, new releases, cover reveals, and the cutest pets this side of the Mississippi. Or something. If you've been enjoying this series, hit that subscribe button. I do an episode every Friday. Have a great week. Doubt not, slay some words, and Lex has your back. Bye.